All right, folks. Hey, how's it going here? Josh, along with Boz, another edition of Boxing Chit. We're talking about the latest boxing action that is taking place here over the course of the weekend. I'm sure some of you partake uh, in that type of in those festivities. I would say you did, and we are here to talk about it. And how's it going with you there, Boz?
Well, yeah, it's been pretty slow week now. Not that much going on, but yeah, it's going all right mostly. Yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, not a ton of major names as far as the boxing action was concerned for this past weekend, though we did get some names that we are familiarized with, especially if you follow the sport in Felix Cash, Rafael Espinoza, who's really come on here as of late, Abraham Nova,
Yeah, right.
Troy Isley. We got Troy Isley. So we had some names out there, had a little top rank action because, promoters, networks right now. So we had a little ESPN action. We had a little bit of the zone matchroom action with Eddie Hearn and crew. And it was not bad just from an overall perspective, but trust me, some bigger weekends are ahead. With that in mind, though, we can talk about what happened here with those that we do know of. But before we do that, I want to send a salute there to Bruce Gas, Boxing Jazz, and more, who sends his regards there. Appreciate you there, Bruce. I was able to
Hey,
participate in a heavyweight quiz that Bruce ran on his channel yesterday. So look
oh,
forward to those, Bruce. I'm ready for the next
yeah,
one.
I
No doubt.
love
I
a
know
good
you're going to make
quiz.
some tweaks.
Yeah, I
Oh
love a good boxing quiz.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. You're gonna make some tweaks there, Bruce. But I'm ready. I'm ready. Let's get it. So yeah, folks, if you haven't already, be sure to go over there and subscribe to Bruce Gas, Boxing Jazz, and more. Bruce Gas, Boxing Jazz, and more. And just so you have who we are, Joshua here, the Boz, holding it down. But anyway, so yeah, the big card, I guess you can say, or one of the big cards from the weekend happened yesterday on Saturday there, Boz, over in the UK specifically, and that was Tyler Denny taking on Felix Cash in a middleweight contest. Now, there was a British level title that was on the line. Exactly what that title was, I don't recall off top, but Felix
yeah,
Cash, who I consider to be a pretty promising fighter, was coming off an 18-month layoff there, Boz, and I must say it really did show. That 18
yeah.
months off did show. And
Good
for the
man.
record, it ended up being a technical decision that went the way of Tyler Denny after the fight was stopped prior to the fifth round, or just at the start of the fifth round,
Yeah,
due
yeah,
to a nasty cut on the eyelid of Felix Cash. Apparently, it came from a headbutt, or at least that's what it was said. There did seem to be a punch that landed at one point, a left hook that could have been the thing that opened it
yeah.
up, but headbutt is what it goes down as technical decision. I want to get your thoughts on the contest there, Boz, which you saw from both guys.
Well, it was a pretty even contest, I thought, until the fourth round, and then when Cash got hurt by a left hook. That's the one I think you mentioned now,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's kind of seemed to take a little out of him, and yeah, and then suddenly, of course, it came to sudden stop in the fifth round, pretty early on in the fifth, yeah, and yeah, he got badly cut. I mean, Cash kind of looked all right at first, but I thought his timing was a little off, and the way he got caught, with that left hook, it's usually what, pretty much new beginners get caught that way, or, people that are simply
Yeah.
not that good, I guess. So the layoff showed there, yeah, definitely, yeah. And he was very confident before the fight, but he didn't show that in the ring, and didn't translate that
Mhm.
confidence in the ring. And I have not never I don't think I ever heard of Tyler Denny before, but he did really well. I mean, it
Yeah.
seemed that even without the cut, he was headed toward the stoppage victory there. Yeah, so
No, I'm in agreement.
That's
I'm in agreement
what
there
I
for sure.
think. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in agreement. He was definitely in control. I thought Felix had a decent first, and he had some moments in spurts. But after he got caught with that left hook you mentioned, there was a left hook that left him a bit stiff right there for a second. He was like,
Yeah.
definitely caught him. And this was close to the end of the round. Had there been more time in that round, who knows what would have panned out. But I
Yeah.
think from that point forward, sort of as you mentioned there, control was in favor of Tyler Denny, who could move better than Felix Cash, who was really just kind of coming forward, moving his head at times, but not a ton. But Tyler Denny, he was using lateral movement here and there. He seemed to have the
Yeah.
better footwork and seemed to be more athletic, though Felix Cash
Yes.
was the bigger of the two, certainly. But
Hmm.
not very, it was kind of a lackluster effort, I would say, from Felix Cash. The technique wasn't there as far as I'm concerned in terms of the skill set. He seemed to be kind of just winging some of those punches and just nonchalantly throwing them from a distance that probably wasn't favorable for him. And as mentioned, he did look like a guy who had been out for about 18 months. And unfortunately for him, that was his first loss in his career. And when that stoppage came about, it was a cut. The doctor was looking at the cut. Cash didn't seem to protest it at all, which, give or take, I would have liked to see a bit more protest. But at that
Yeah.
point, maybe he too felt the writing was on the wall and it was just a matter of time. And that was something that ended up stopping it. And he didn't look too devastated by it. And I made me wonder whether or not he took this contest because he wanted to, or he had an ultimatum or something of that nature.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, this was I don't know really. I think he just could see that he wasn't doing well and wasn't likely gonna bounce back, and had been away for so long from the ring, and his opponent obviously wasn't, and he came really prepared and in really good shape. And yeah, I see that actually Danny was the European champion, defending the European middleweight title here. So this was a pretty. I mean, I think it's just too much too soon for Cash.
Yeah.
For after that long of a layoff to just pit him against a guy like Danny was obviously not a good choice. Probably a mistake by his management, but yeah,
Yeah.
you live and learn.
Yeah, very very interesting for sure. Yeah, that option and Denny, yeah, for being the European middleweight champion, yeah, he showed some wrinkles for sure. I wonder how he
Mm,
looks at that world stage. I suppose he has the skill set and athleticism to do decently, but of course the verdict would still be out at that elite level, elite stage, but maybe he's ready for it. You never know. Felix Cash, though, certainly back to the drawing board a bit. And I wonder if he maintains at 160 pounds or if 168 is in his future. Time will tell, of course, but he has been competing at 160. He is a big guy for 160. So I
yeah, that's
wonder if that is something that kind of crosses the mind as well, moving up.
yeah. I mean, and I just saw actually that Danny also only had one knockout victory before this in his previous fight. So that's very
Mm.
interesting. I mean, for a guy with 16 wins now, anyway, he has or no, actually, he
That was
had
a technical
18.
decision.
Yeah, he has 90 now. So only one is a knockout victory. So this was also not a really knockout victory. But
Also, he only has one knockout.
yeah, that's the thing.
Interesting.
So but he still managed to hurt Cash. I mean,
Yeah, he
that's a
did.
little strange. Obviously, Cash is something is off.
Yeah,
Hey, smooth Rodolfo.
yeah. He
So
didn't look like he was really into the fight mentally
yeah,
either.
he likely just is having a problem staying at 160. So probably he should move up now. And yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, probably. Salute to Rodolfo Rivera Jr. in the building here. Appreciate you there, Rodolfo. Jumped in, showing some love. Everybody go check out Rodolfo. Subscribe to him. Always down. Rodolfo says, I don't think I caught any of the boxing week this weekend except the Rafael fight. Was watching some Copa Americas and Euros. Yeah, you did a disservice to the sport right there, Rodolfo. Thank you.
Yeah, the Euro has been the big thing also this week. I mean, football championship, of course.
Oh yeah, I've caught a little bit of it. Caught a little bit. I caught what's the game I caught there? Peru versus
No, not Peru.
Chile.
I mean, the European Championship.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's CONCACAF. Yeah, European. Oh yeah, with the European. Yeah,
you meant Copa America. Yeah.
Copa America, not CONCACAF. Yeah. So many of them out there, so many different names and all that stuff. Rodolfo, I know you know what's going on. Thanks for correcting me. But the Euros, I've missed a good bulk. I know I wanted to catch a couple of the matchups. I've seen what has happened with some of the teams. I know, some are on their kind of last leg that were expected to do pretty well. USA ain't gonna make it for our 86. Yeah, we'll see. We will see. We'll certainly see. But no, cool stuff. Appreciate you being in there, Rodolfo. But we were talking Felix Cash, Tyler Denny. That was the zone card. An undercard, they did have some fights that took place. One of them that was fairly decent was Lewis Crocker taking on, I think, Noah Walker. That one had some good action in it. Lewis Crocker being one of those guys who's down to bang, and certainly Walker as well. So they had the fans on their feet. Had some moments where they provided a lot of good action, and both guys were taking it as well as they were giving it. So that's one, folks, that I would say was probably the fight of the card in itself, and some of the other ones were decent, but more so on the showcase side. Muhammad Ali ended up getting a draw, highly touted young prospect, but he ended up getting a draw that he probably could have lost by some standards. So we'll see what happens with him. But that was probably the main information tied to this card worth mentioning here at the moment. But of course, look it up. Then we'll talk about this ESPN card, which was a WBO World Featherweight Championship matchup that took place on Friday here in the U.S. Out in Las Vegas, you had Rafael Espinoza taking on Sanchez. Let me see if I can get his first name right, because it's Sergio Chirino. So I was thinking about the Chirino. So Chirino Sanchez. So Sergio Chirino Sanchez, who came in with a pretty solid record. I think he only lost once in 20 plus fights. Espinoza, he is the WBO champion by virtue of him knocking off Robeisy Ramirez in what was a good, solid performance in sort of the contest that brought him on here earlier in the year. I believe it was earlier in the year. So he handed Robeisy Ramirez a loss. Espinoza, a big guy at 5'7", fighting at featherweight. And he's a long guy as well, so he has that size and typical Mexican heart, because he's a guy that is not afraid to come forward and duke it out by any means. And we saw that in this contest, which was really one, Boz, where he was in control from the start, and he was able to hurt Sanchez on a number of occasions before ultimately getting the stoppage in the fourth round, I believe it is. Let me see, fourth round, I think, and well-deserved, good stoppage, TKO. I think the corner had threw in the towel right as it was about to be stopped or something like that. Can't remember fully, but Sanchez, he was game. I will say he was game, but just certainly Espinoza just showed that, hey, he's in that zone. He's in that zone right now, and he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. And when watching that, what I was thinking about is, for a guy like Espinoza there, Boz, he reminds me of some of those guys like Brandon Rios or others who, while they may not wow you with the skill set, while they're on top of their game in their prime, man, they're just tough to deal with, just given the pressure that they apply and their ability to really just kind of break a fighter down mentally. and then ultimately get him out of there. So those are my thoughts on Espinoza. But I know you might have recalled the Robeisy Ramirez contest, but that's the one that kind of elevated him to, okay, this is a guy to watch and a champion.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that was a huge victory. Big upset, of course. I mean, Robeisy was really looking, really dangerous and destroying some really solid fighters before that. So, yeah, I was very surprised when he was knocked out by Espinoza. Yes. Well, he wasn't knocked out, but he lost anyway. He was down.
Yeah. He was knocked down, and he cracked Espinoza, dropped him at one point as well. But Espinoza came back, continued to apply that pressure, got that victory. So,
and Robeisy is actually coming back next weekend. Has a fight in the Miami Beach. Yeah.
Okay, I have to look that up right there. Robeisy Ramirez in action once again. Salute to Remy, who dropped by, left a super chat right there. Hey, appreciate you there, Remy. Good seeing you, buddy. As always, man, you are appreciated. Remy, folks, be sure to go check him out. Go subscribe to Remy. You see the name there? If you're on YouTube here right now, go over there, subscribe. Remy, he's always in the mix here, always showing love right there, representing. So we'll appreciate you there, Remy, for sure. It's good to see you back in the mix here.
Yep. Thanks.
Rodolfo Rivera says Remy with the yes, sir. Remy showing some love. Remy dropping that money bag out there. But yeah, thank you for sure there, Remy. So yeah, this was a good card there, as mentioned in terms of this action. It also had Abraham Supernova taking on Andres Cortez, I guess you could say. And Andres Cortez actually came in overweight in the contest. So ultimately, this was set as a matchup that was supposed to be at super featherweight, but he came in over. I can't remember the exact poundage over. But Cortez, he is a guy that, when seen in the past, he's looked very promising, and this was like the step up contest for him, I guess you could say. Supernova, we seen him in there with some guys who can fight. We seen him in there with Oshaki Foster. He lost a good fight with Oshaki Foster. We know he got knocked out by Robeisy Ramirez, but Supernova in this contest, from all indications, seemed to do the better job and deserved a victory over Cortez, who not only came in overweight, but looked a bit flat in the fight itself. And maybe that's because he was, in addition to being overweight, he was trying to lose the extra pounds there to try and make weight in the aftermath of missing. And
he's a big super featherweight, obviously 5'9".
And maybe he's no longer a super featherweight, even though he's trying to force his way down there, and it was a lackluster performance, I guess, on his part by many regards. There were a number who I've seen online who had it scored for Nova, but it ended up being a victory for Cortez. I think it was unanimous decision. And it's very controversial from what I could tell. Now, I was watching the fight, but I need to go back and look at it with a close eye, because I wasn't necessarily looking at it with a fully close eye. But that being said, I'm definitely going to try and go back and check that out there. But some controversy, not without it. And Cortez probably did himself a disservice, considering that, hey, this is a big-time fight for him. And it was going to be an opportunity to get a lot of eyes, and this opportunity came about, and he missed weight. So Nova, he always comes with it. I like his style. I like his mascot that is always there with him, showing love. So Abraham Supernova representing Puerto Rico there. Remy with another super chat says, appreciated 86, Rodolfo and Boz. Hey, appreciate you there, Remy. Man, always showing love there. Like I said, folks, be sure to go check out Remy right there. Always in the mix, showing love. You're far too kind, my man. Far too kind. Hey, we appreciate you here, certainly. You're on the wall of fame for sure there, Remy. The wall of fame. The Boxing Haven Wall of Fame, the 86 Boxing Wall of Fame. Remy's there. Salute to you there, Remy. But So that was the case with that contest there, Boz. So we'll see what's next for them. But Abraham Supernova is still a guy in the mix there very much at 126 pounds. And I think he has a style that, is friendly enough to watch, fan friendly enough that he can mix it up with pretty much anyone.
Yeah, he has only been destroyed by Robesi Ramirez himself so far. So, that was the only time he was really, knocked out. And even against Oshaki Foster, he did well. I mean, it was a split decision loss. So, and you said it last night, he looked better, actually. So, yeah, I mean, the guy has ability and skills, but he just needs to move up now, obviously, to 135 eventually. Or
Oh yeah.
So
that's probably what'll be in order here. And I know that Oshaki Foster, he's going to be fighting coming up as well on that New Jersey card, which will.
Yeah, it shouldn't be. He shouldn't be past his prime. He's still 30 years old, so hasn't had that many fights. Nova 26 now. So he still has some good years left, I would say. Yeah.
Oh yeah, certainly. Then I want to mention is a 10-round middleweight contest also on the same card. Troy Isley, aka Megatron. Troy Isley representing Alexandria Gym, holding it down out of DC. He was actually in action. He's been with Top Rank. He was an Olympian, all that good stuff. He was actually in action taking on Javier Martinez, who was a very solid fighter himself, in what was a good contest at the right time for both guys. And Troy Isley, he put on a performance to show that he will be a force to be reckoned with here at 160 pounds. He is a guy who has the look, and I know he has the skill set as well. He comes in top shape, and he's able to land and go the distance. So he's a guy who is pretty cut up in there, but he is able to fight deep into fights. So I think that he is one of these guys that has a lot of promise and potential. Now, he really at some points was dominating Javier Martinez. It ended up being a decision victory for him, unanimous, as a matter of fact. Oh no, split or unanimous, right? I'm right. So I was looking at something wrong, but so unanimous decision, and he really, as mentioned, just dominated Javier Martinez in spurts or in some of those rounds and pockets, and showed that he was a level above, and this was intended to be like a step up for him. But hey, he's a guy who has the amateur background, and he's really coming into himself here as a pro. And I've seen him here in the area when he was an amateur, all that stuff. And he seems to be legit as far as I'm concerned. So I backed him as being one of those guys that you better pay close attention to here in the middleweight division moving forward.
Right. He's obviously a boxer because he doesn't have many knockouts, so obviously. Yeah.
And some of that may be as he continues to grow here and mature in the division, as well as in his career, that starts to change and he starts to pick up a bit more, because he has shown that he can dominate a fighter. And it's just a matter of starting to get those knockouts, as you mentioned there. I think that's what will take him to that next level even more so. But he certainly has the tool set for sure to be a force, a special fighter here in the division. Remy says Troy Isley came with the skill set over Martinez. Yes, we saw that for sure. We saw those wrinkles. One I recommend certainly checking out their Boz, because Troy puts on a probably his best performance here as a pro when you look at the level of fighter he was taking on. And I've seen Martinez fight before, and the way Troy handled him, he showed that, hey, he's ready for that next step, basically. So look forward to what he's doing, what is coming for him here in the future.
Cool.
Then also on Friday, I wanted to mention, and I tried to look for this card, but I couldn't find it. But uh, Lyndon Arthur, he ended up picking up a split decision victory over Liam Cameron in a British contest, or so domestic for them on that
Yeah,
end. And I haven't seen any highlights or anything of that nature tied to it. But I do know that this was a contest that did take place, and Lyndon Arthur picked up the win. Lyndon Arthur, of course, a guy that's been in there with a lot of top fighters, hasn't always been on the winning side at that elite level. That being said, he can mix it up pretty much with anyone
yeah,
in there, or at least he can be in there. He was in there with Dimitri Bivol. Of course, we know, and Bivol probably many thought could have gotten him out of there. That being said, he has a victory over Anthony Yard, and he's also has a loss to him as well. But just one of those guys who's a veteran guy and name that you'll likely see in there with different opponents, even especially those that are coming up here in the
he's a
future.
rather clever guy, but he does have some power. I mean, it's not like he's feather fisted, but he's
Yeah,
more of a boxer than a puncher. However, he did score some knockouts, like against Brian Suarez in the 10th round. That was last year. So, yeah, you had
yeah,
he can. I thought he also hurt. I mean, as I said before, he hurt Bivol with a body shot, like in that fight in the 8th or 9th round. I don't remember exactly. So he does have some power, definitely. Yeah,
yeah. He
but
never really changed gears in that fight, which probably could have helped him somewhat.
he just didn't. Yeah, he looked kind of scared, or I don't know what. Maybe he was just couldn't figure Bivol out or something. It's very hard for a technical boxer fighter to get the better of the role. That's his game. That's his own game. Nobody does it better, of course. So it's easier, I guess, for a more of a puncher destroyer type to maybe
Yeah,
they have like someone like Beterbiev, of course, has a better chance to beat Bivol than another technician.
yeah. No, I'm with you there. In that fight, hey, I saw something saying it's confirmed October the 12th, right there. Speaking of such, Better Biev versus Dimitri Bivol will get an undisputed world light heavyweight champion.
Finally, yeah.
Finally, I don't
Hope
even recall
nothing
when the last
spoils
time
that
was.
one. Yeah, hope nothing spoils that
Right,
one.
right. Of course, it was
Yeah.
derailed a little bit earlier this year, but yeah, this one seems to be on track.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes. For
We
sure.
all got to score a knockout, the first one for like 6 years, I think. So
Oh yeah,
that worked out all right for him.
yeah. He went
Yeah.
for it for sure, and he did what he had to do right there in that contest. Got that
Yeah.
knockout. Let you know,
I
I
think he
still
just
got something.
he could have probably scored a couple more, but he wouldn't risk it. He's a champion. So he's thinking, yeah, if I can just outbox them to win
Yep,
easily, why
yep.
not?
Certainly
Why
can.
why risk anything? Trying to knock them out. So yeah,
Oh
that
yeah, yeah.
works pretty well for him. Perfectly.
Oh
But
yeah,
yeah, of
certainly.
course. Now it will be a different story with Better BL. I mean, yeah, that's gonna be a much tougher challenge. We all know. I mean, yeah,
Yeah. Hey, I think we're
we'll
going
see.
to see a laser focused Bebo coming in there, knowing the implications and the stakes at hand, and this opportunity at Undisputed will take him to that next level. I feel, but better be very much dangerous. I do regard Bebo as numero uno at light heavyweight, so it'll certainly be interesting.
Well, yeah, he probably has. Well, I don't know. Maybe he has. Yeah, maybe a little better, stronger resume. I would say. He also has had more fights, I believe,
Yeah,
than
he has.
Beterbiev. And
He has.
even though, yeah, Beterbiev has knocked out guys like Joe Smith Jr., Callum Smith, and yeah, Yard himself. So yeah, he has a very strong record as well.
Yeah, both of them. So yeah, these are no question the two best light heavyweights, and I think
yeah,
yeah, it's about time, as they say.
yeah. Let's carry on.
Let's get it on. No, good stuff. So looking ahead there, Boz, in terms of what's coming here in the future. So on Thursday, the 27th of June, you're gonna have Fulgham versus Ellis, Ronald Ellis, that is, and that's
Oh,
Darius Fulgham or something like that, I think it is, who's a guy who looks pretty promising. He's gotten a lot of knockouts in his 11 victories, uh, and he ended up, or let me see, maybe they don't have it right here, or but yeah, I feel like
right.
he has more knockouts than what I'm seeing here.
Oh
But yeah,
yeah,
Darius
Ronald
Darius
Ellis. Yeah,
Fulgham.
yeah. He was the guy who was stopped by Benavides. Yeah, Ronald Ellis.
Oh yeah, Ronald Ellis or his brother Rashidi Ellis. Oh no, maybe no. Ronald maybe was. No, I
No,
think you're right. He's got a
yeah,
brother. Yeah, maybe
Rashidi.
Rashidi
Yeah,
Ellis.
Rashidi fights at a lower
Yeah,
weight. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, Ronald. So he returns. He had been fighting on Team Combat League. As a matter of fact, Ronald Ellis, that is. So this will be kind of a step up there for Darius Fulgham. Let me see. Is Fulgham? Does he have a
Hmm.
brother or something? Because I'm thinking of a. Oh yeah, they had his TKOs wrong on that site because I was like, yeah, I figured he knocked out just about everyone. So he's 11-0 with 10 knockouts. Now he did go to decision and won a majority decision over Atlantes Fox out of this area. So that's
Yeah.
the only fight that he's had where it didn't end in knockout. So now he's going up against Ronald Ellis. So this will be interesting as well. Of course, Ronald Ellis comes with some experience. You're right. David Benavidez stopped him. He lost to
Hmm.
majority decision to DeAndre Ware. So Ronald Ellis, he's been in there with some guys. He lost the decision to Christian Mbili. He is one to definitely. That'll be a definite test there for Darius
Wow.
Fulgham. Oh yeah, Ellis was also in with Eric Bazignan, who was the Canadian
Oh yeah.
fighter. I know he fought
Uh,
not too long ago.
I just
So
yeah.
yeah.
Sorry, I just saw something interesting also that on the same night that Crawford, probably that's the same car, I think. Yeah, maybe that Crawford and Badrimov are fighting. That David Morales is also coming back as a light heavyweight against a guy that comes from the same country as I do originally, Kalajic.
Oh,
You know,
Kalijik.
Radi.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
that
was
should be a good
stopped.
one right there.
Yeah, also yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, that
so
should be a good one.
actually, it says it's for a vacant WBA title, but I guess that's not the. Yeah, I guess Bivol has the super version, so this is the
Yeah,
regular.
yeah, you know
Very
how those
interesting
belts get.
fight. Yeah,
Remy says Ronald Ellis was doing well against David Benavidez. Indeed, indeed. So yeah,
hmm.
Ronald, hey,
I
he
want to
can
see
mix it
that
up.
fight. Yeah, I want to see
Yeah,
that
he,
fight.
he was. Ronald can mix it up, so this should be a good one for Fulgham. We'll see how he handles Ronald Ellis, a
Hmm.
good veteran fighter there who's been in with some big names. But yeah, also collegiate, as you mentioned, that contest, collegiate Morel, that should be a good one. Collegiate is pretty solid. Favor
Yeah,
Morel,
he
of
can
course, but he is
punch. I
moving
mean,
up.
he can punch. He scored four knockouts in straight. I mean, he stopped
Yeah,
Sullivan Barrera in his
yeah,
last
and
fights.
he's fought on Pro Box TV. Yeah, the last one was against Barrera on
Yeah.
Pro Box TV, I believe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. He's only, I mean, really lost to Beterbiev and once to Marcus Brown, but that was a bad decision. Everybody
Oh
said it.
yeah, Marcus Brown. Yeah, where'd he go? Where is Marcus done now? I wonder.
He's also very tall. I mean, rather tall, light, heavy. He's a 6'2", so
Yeah, he's got a
he's
solid jab.
or actually 6'3", it says now. Oh, all right. He
Yeah,
has
so it
grown
should
a
be an
little bit.
interesting one. Yeah, so a good one for Morel. We'll get to see how things translate up there at 175. But man, he seems to be the total package, no doubt about it. There,
Yeah,
Morel, it is.
I think Kalajic is good enough to give the best guys a good fight. I don't think he's good enough to beat them, but he's good enough
Yeah,
definitely to
yeah.
present a good challenge, a good test. Yes, definitely.
Yeah, I probably would lean that direction as well, right there.
Mm.
I can second that statement for sure. I think you're
Yeah, he's
spot
like
on.
a B plus fighter, as they call it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, hey, but yeah, so he'll make it interesting there for as long as it lasts. I would say
yeah.
for as long as it lasts. Max Duran
He has
dropped
been
in.
around. He's been around. Oh, hey, Max. He's been around
Cheers
for
there
a
to you,
while. I mean,
Max.
oh, hey, Max. He actually started as a pro in 2011, so he's been around for a
Okay,
while. Has
wily
been kind
veteran
of,
here.
yeah, hasn't been very active, all the time. But now he's back. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense then. So, but yeah, I look forward to it. So, I think this is a
Mm,
good contest, or that, or that will be a good contest there that you mentioned. So, I
yeah.
certainly look forward to it. What can I? What
Yeah,
can I do?
also, yeah. As you know, one coming next Saturday when I'll be in Boston by then, but I'll try to get to find it somewhere anyway the day after. That super flyweight, by the way, that fight,
Yeah.
probably the fight of the month. Maybe we'll see. Maybe it'll become the fight of the year. Who knows?
Oh yeah, yeah. So yeah, does that come? That is Oh yeah, dang, yeah. So that is coming
Estrada,
up. So yeah. Well, before that, when I wanted to mention, yeah, Friday the 28th of June, we do have Lamont Roach Jr. out of the area who's going to be putting this
oh,
WBA World Super Featherweight Championship on the line against Fergal McCrory of Ireland, an undefeated fighter. And this is going down right here in Washington, D.C. at the Entertainment and Sports Arena, which is not too far from me, as a matter of fact. So, gonna be over there representing for 86 Boxing, baby, covering the contest. So I look forward to it. But this should be a good one right there, and I know it's gonna have a lot of fanfare, and it's a pretty stacked card from an overall perspective. You'll have not only will you have Lamont Roach Jr. putting his title on the line, you're gonna have guys like Carlos Gongora. He's gonna be fighting on it. You're gonna have the debut of a couple of top stellar amateurs, one of them being uh, Lamont's brother, Jordan Roach. And then you're going to have Ben Johnson, who's another top level amateur who's coming out, who I'm really excited about seeing. Have an interview out there on the channel there with him. You're going to have Rihanna Rios, who we're sponsoring 86 Boxing representing, who is going to be fighting. I think she's going to be opening up the Pro Box TV card portion of it. So be on the lookout. You're going to see that 86 Boxing logo out there. So much love there to
oh,
Rihanna
okay.
Rio doing her thing. But she's undefeated 7-0, fighting out of, well, she's in this area, but now she's back in Texas. So it's kind of in between here. No excuse. She's with that team. That's the team Lamont Roach Jr. with.
86 personally making the rounds, man.
Trying to make some
Lately,
rounds there. Trying to make some rounds. But yeah, be on the lookout for Rihanna Rios. She's going to be fighting for a WBA bantamweight or international bantamweight title. So salute to Rihanna. We're going to have a guy, Derek Scooter Davis, going to be fighting as well. Shark Season himself. He's going to be opening up. Exciting fighter right there. Who, man, excellent body work. You see them on Team Combat League if you check that out as well. So it's going to be a very stacked card, very good card. So definitely look forward to that one. As far as the main event in itself, Lamont Roach Jr. there, Boz, he picked up the title by knocking off Hector Garcia, who was trying to defend the title that he had won prior to taking on Tank Davis. And Garcia ended up getting dropped in that contest. Another shot that wasn't called a knockdown that was taken back. And Lamont Roach showed that, hey, he started to put everything together, really coming into his own there. So it'll be interesting.
Wow. I didn't know that. He also has a victory over Rene Alvarado, who was once a very solid fighter. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I see. And only loss so far was against Jamel Herring.
Yeah, and that was a contest where Lamont Roach Jr. dropped Jamel Herring in that contest, and he couldn't capitalize on that opportunity and lost. I believe it was like a split decision or something of that nature. Oh no, it's a unanimous decision.
Yeah, it was unanimous, but yeah, one judge had it close anyway.
Yeah. So yeah, he's got some pretty solid wins now. Fiagal McCrory, he's an Irish fighter, as mentioned. Looking at his resume,
16-0.
16-0.
Fearless Fiagal.
Fearless Fiagal.
Seems like he does have some power anyway. I mean, maybe not a devastating puncher, but probably can hit.
Definitely a step up for McCrory, I would say, with this opportunity. I wonder if he was a mandatory or something of that nature. So we'll see how he does. The Irish fighters, as we know, are usually game. So we'll see how if fear goal comes in with no fear. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Salute to Anthony Ross right there. Champ Ross. Champ Ross, just wanted to mention that real quick. The sub 86 Boz there. He runs the Fantasy Boxing Prediction League. Be sure to hit him up, folks, if you want to join that league. A new season is about to kick off. Hey, Boz, you should get in that league right there.
I'm already one. One is enough for me. I think
win some prizes. So check him out, folks. Champ Ross Fantasy Boxing Prediction League. He's on Facebook.
Maybe in future we'll see.
Yeah. Hey, you can get in for this next season. Starts here shortly. So I'll send you the info there, Boz.
Why not?
Put it to the test. You'll be in with some people you know there who put their predictions in. Myself, of course. The Skywalker's in there. You got Nick Harmer in there. So a number of people in there. There's way more than that. Remy's in there. It's a number of people in there.
Sorry, I can't. That July 6th, I'm going to be on holiday. So, no, I'm going to probably pass on for now anyway. So, we'll see.
All right.
Thanks, Andy. Thank you.
We'll see. I'll send it to you. Yeah, maybe down the road there. But, folks, check out Champ Ross Fantasy Boxing Prediction League. Be sure to go subscribe over there. Some good stuff happening there on his league or whatever. It is tough, as he mentioned. So that is one. And I mentioned on this card, we were just talking about Carlos Gongora. He's going to be taking on Lester Martinez, who's an undefeated fighter out of Argentina. So that should be a good one. I think that's going to be the co-main, actually. So we know Gongora has shown he's one of those guys who can come in there and put up a tough fight. Gave a tough fight to Kristen Mbili in what some call a fight of the year last year. So Gongora back in action. We'll see how he does.
He's from Ecuador. That's pretty rare. They don't have many boxers that are known well. Anyway.
Oh yeah, Ecuadorian.
Yeah. See, he's one.
And I know
he seems to be a puncher. This guy, definitely.
Yeah, Lester Martinez. I know I've seen him. Okay, Ruben Angulo. Okay. Oh, yeah, Isaiah Steen. Yeah, he knocked out Isaiah Steen. That might have been on I wonder if that was on a Showtime card there. I think I saw that one. Let me see if that was a Showtime card. So Isaiah Steen. That was, or maybe not. It was at the Westgate in Las Vegas. But yeah, I know Isaiah Steen. So yeah, this should be a good one right here. And we'll see if Carlos Gongora can slow him down. We know Carlos Gongora is battle tested, so maybe he's the right guy to stop the gravy train, I guess you can say. But that's good. Yeah. Then on that same night, there's going to be a card on TNT Sports 1, Leary versus Foley. So it's an Irish card. Then you're going to have on the Zone that same night, Pierce versus San Martin. Familiar with San Martin. And they're going to be fighting on the Zone in a super bantamweight contest. So that was probably going to be worth. So a lot of action on Friday. And then, of course, as you mentioned there, the big card on Saturday, June 29th, WBC World Super Flyweight Championship. El Gallo himself, Juan Francisco Estrada, taking on Bam Rodriguez right there. Boz. Jesse Bam Rodriguez. That should be a pretty solid one right there. But I know you're excited about that one. I'm excited about it. Bam, I mean, he's shown that he is one of the most promising guys there as far as the young fighters coming up. And this is his opportunity to knock off an old veteran who, when last seen, last several years, has shown that he is a world level top 10 pound for pound type of fighter. And he hasn't fought in a while, of course, since the end of 2022. But yeah, this is an opportunity couldn't resist right here. What are your thoughts on that one coming into it there, Boz? Bam versus El Gallo.
Yeah. Oh man, what a fight! Yeah, Estrada is just a fantastic fighter, and very skilled and all that stuff. But you might wonder, is this gonna be the his dethroning by Bam Rodriguez? I think so. Probably it will. I mean, Jesse Rodriguez seems to be virtually unstoppable right now, and that he was able to stop Sonny Edwards. That was just a great statement. Of course, statement for itself that he seems to be the future of this division. These divisions anyway. Probably. I mean, of course, everybody is hoping that he can move up and face in Norway. Eventually that will be the fight. For the ages. And but here against Estrada, of course, Estrada has a big advantage when it comes to experience. And he's battle tested, as you said, and yeah, he's a very very tough cookie, and so I don't think he will be stopped by Rodriguez, but probably will be, maybe knocked down and stuff like that. But I expect a really great battle, great war. But I kind of lean towards Rodriguez here in this fight, and because he's just younger, fresher, at the top of his game, and Estrada doesn't seem to be anymore anyway. So many people thought he shouldn't have got that victory over Chocolatito, last time. So
I'm
yeah,
one of
he's
those people.
be slowing down a little bit. Yeah, definitely. And it's no wonder he has had so many big, great fights and wars. So yeah, I think probably, I mean, Rodriguez will win a decision. I mean, maybe, I don't know. It's not impossible that he can stop him late. Maybe, I don't know. But I wouldn't
Yeah.
go for that anyway. Prediction. So yeah,
Yeah, very interesting. Yeah, Rodriguez has shown that when the ante has been stepped up, he's been able to live up to it. He completely dismantled Sarissa Katsor Rungvik's side in what was a step up fight for him. I mean, complete dismantling. Whether he can do that to El Gallo's another story. He handled Sonny Edwards, as you mentioned, in what was a great fight. If you really look at it, folks, a great fight. Two
yeah,
guys
he retired.
basically on top
He
of their
already
game going at it.
He retired Rungu side. Now will he retire El
Yeah.
Gallo? We'll see. Probably. Yeah.
No, yeah. Yeah, certainly. So I'm with you there. It's one that seems like Bam Rodriguez is his moment right now. And we've seen these in history where you have that elite level veteran who is coming up against one of those elite youngsters who have been looking for that opportunity against the veteran that could take them over the top. And I think might be the contest right here that takes him over the top in that sense. And
Yeah.
that will probably be what elevates Bam to this next status. And where we're saying, yeah, legitly, okay, he is a pound for pounder, and who is next? Who can stop him? That's what I feel. I feel he's going to get the job done too, there, Boz. And yeah, the type of victory he gets, that'll be an interesting one.
Yeah.
Based on his track record, I think he has what it takes to probably be the one to stop El Gallo, just given the timing and the way he presses and goes for it.
Yeah, he can indeed. He can do it definitely, but it's just that I mean, it's pretty hard.
Remy says El Gallo can be out 3 years and come back like he was out 3 months, but can't wait. Hey, good point there, Remy.
I mean, if you remember, like earlier, maybe a couple of years ago, we were talking about Bam Rodriguez, and we were like, yeah, but maybe he isn't that great because Rumbisai was kind of getting old, and I think now he's proven us wrong. I mean, he has shown us that he is the real deal. And
yeah, certainly. Yeah, immediately coming into that contest, I thought that Rungvisai would catch him and stop him at some point in that contest leading up to it, but actually witnessing it, I was just like, oh my. Now, El Gallo, man, I know he's coming into this 100% ready to go, and maybe the time off has done him good, especially in the smaller weights where those guys, they're fighting and going through the top level competition on a consistent basis, and that doesn't happen as consistently in some of these higher weights, but these guys definitely do that down there. And he's been in with pretty much everyone in or around flyweight. So this might have done him some good this time off, when you think about it and how those smaller weight fighters actually compete.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't think right now at super flyweight, I don't think there's anybody who can beat him. Of course, you are talking about, bantamweight and Naoya, there is the best the best candidate to beat him. But even that is not certain, of course. Who knows? That will be one great fight.
Yeah, but I am gonna go with you there, Boz, and I think that might be the time right here for Bam. I think he's gonna impress. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
This will definitely look great on his record. This victory, if he gets it, of course, this will be the sign that he's ready. Just for even bigger names. So.
Yeah. So looking forward to it. Now on the undercard, you have Sonny Edwards. You might have mentioned he's taking on Adrian Carrillo, who in what should be a pretty good contest right there. Sort of a return there for Edwards since that loss to Bam, and they're on the same card here. So that's an interesting one. Sonny Edwards, despite that loss to Bam, I mean, he showed that he's a top level guy as well. There around that weight. Let me see. Is he still what weight this is going to be at for him? This is going to be at flyweight. So yeah, Sonny's still competing at 112. He's got a chance to be the guy in that division still with Bam now moving up. I suppose if Bam wins this contest, he stays at 115. So there's still opportunity out there for Sonny.
Yeah, Sonny has always been kind of a little reckless, I guess, in his fighting style, a little too aggressive and cocky for a guy who doesn't have power, So I guess that's a part of why he did get stopped by Jesse Bam Rodriguez. Yeah.
Bam. And then Ramla Ali is going to be fighting as well, taking on Mercado. Is this the one that stopped her? Yamliet Mercado. Let me see. Ramla Ali, super bantamweight. I think this the same girl, right? No. Guzman is who I'm thinking of, but she's going to be fighting WBC World Super Bantamweight Championship. Yamliet Mercado. So Mercado, she comes in 23-3, 5 knockouts. So she doesn't have the power like that. She's been in there with Amanda Serrano in a loss. So definitely the more experienced fighter, and we'll see how she does here. If she has the type of pop to stop or to keep Ramla Ali off of her or off balance. And Ali 9-1, 2 knockouts. So it should be an interesting contest. But WBC title on the line. Want to mention that one. So Ramla Ali holding it down for the ladies there.
We'll see 34. I mean, she looks like she's 16.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Those genetics right there. She does. But so yeah, that should be a good one. And then, hey, also on this night, kind of out there, but I guess you could say nearly under the radar in some sense, is Teofimo Lopez making his return.
Oh yeah.
And he's going to be taking on Canadian Claggett. Let me see what Claggett's first name is. I feel like I've seen Claggett. Steve Claggett. Okay, yeah, I was thinking that. I was legitimately thinking that. Oh yeah, Claggett. I think he is one who, has a lot of experience. Yeah, I saw him fight on a Eye of the Tiger Promotions card, if I'm not mistaken. So it should be an interesting one. Yeah.
He's had one heck of a year. I mean, last year was really good for him. He stopped Alberto Machado in 3 rounds.
Yeah.
Last year.
I know Claggett. Yeah, he's a veteran of the game. Got a lot of fights and experience, so he'll be in there giving that work to, or trying to get that work to Teofimo Lopez. Certainly not as athletic as Teofimo Lopez. Claggett is more the workman's fighter. You know, he goes in there, puts in that work, keeps charging, and he's got a lot of experience, as mentioned. But the athleticism, youth, everything is on Teofimo Lopez's side. Claggett, I think, certainly earned his way here, as you mentioned there, Boz, because he has been on a bit of a run. And despite the record, he's one of those guys, you look at the record, you think one thing, but that's experience right there. And you can never take that away.
He's also a good body puncher, and he's just a really tough guy, and just keeps going forward. And this will be a good, tough fight, I believe, for Teofimo. Still, despite everybody, of course, picking him to win it, and justly so, it will not be an easy fight, definitely. And he also himself said, like he was really down on people who were like, "Oh, you're gonna fight him? Who is he?" He was, "Come on, guys, he's legit. He deserved this." So that was a good thing, I think.
Yeah, you go look at Claggett's resume, you'll see that he's been in there with some good names for sure. So he's one of watch.
Saludos.
What's going on? Appreciate you being here.
A guest that another guy that I know. What's his name? It was last year, I think, probably late last year. He was on the other.
Claggett?
Sorry. Yeah, Before the Bell podcast. Salute to him. A UK boxing podcast, and he was a guest there, and I could say he really looked like a really nice guy, really humble.
He's fought his way through. He's fought his way to this position, and I think he's going to come ready to go. He could make it very tough in there for Teofimo Lopez.
He said how he always had to fight, a way where the crowd was against him, and so he's used to this. Obviously, he will not be, cheered also now. So, but that's all right for him.
So I look forward to that one. I'm going to try to check that one out. Of course, we know how it goes generally when you have 2 cards here of that magnitude in the U.S. It's likely going to be taking place at the same time, so it's going to be one of those interesting dynamics. Kind of annoying when that happens, but hey, I guess that happens in other sports at times too. But they're likely going to have some crossover time in terms of this Teofimo Lopez card and then the Bam Rodriguez card. Kind of throws some things off,
Yeah, it sucks when that happens.
Yeah, but hey, I'm going to try to check out both. And then, as you mentioned, Robeisy Ramirez making his return, taking on Brendan Leon Benitez. So Robeisy looking to bounce back. As we mentioned earlier, he lost to Steven Espinoza or Rafael Espinoza, and that's who he lost his title to. I think that was his first defense too, right? Or had he defended it? It might have been his first defense when he lost to Espinoza, either the first or second. I just can't remember exactly, but Robeisy Ramirez, hey, you could tell, though, even though he had that title, you could tell he was a fighter that was certainly not a complete fighter yet and still working on a number of things. So the title came early for him into his career, especially as it relates to the number of fights that he had. He spent a lot of time in the amateurs, and he has the tool and skill set that one can need, and he started to look and seem to be putting things together that had him on that trajectory to championship status. He got there a little bit quicker than probably well, kind of quick is what they were projecting. They were really pushing him top rank, but probably quicker than his actual development here on the pro side. But I think he seemed
Right.
to be bringing everything together, so he'll probably look good coming off of this Espinoza loss. Thinking that he went back into the labs and toned and honed in on some things. I expect him to come in and look pretty good, or that's at least what I would expect, just given
Mhm.
that he knows the states and the implications. And if he wants to get back into that title picture again, then he knows that he's going to have to look impressive. That's my thoughts at least on that. So looking forward to seeing how Rabisi looks.
Yeah, I mean, it's not easy bouncing back after a first loss. Not always, anyway. But I trust he will. He will
Yeah.
bounce back.
He had lost before, so he knows what that feels like. Remember in his debut.
Oh yeah. No, that was a while.
I think it was his debut, yeah. And he then he started
I
to
think,
really focus in.
yeah, I think sometimes when you have been doing so well as he did, right, like destroying some good fighters, like when he destroyed Nova and those guys. And then you think, yeah, this I'm just unbeatable. I'm just gonna continue doing this, and then suddenly somebody comes along. I mean, maybe you get overconfident and you don't take that opponent, seriously enough, and suddenly you are fighting for your life, then you end up
Yeah.
losing. So I think that's what probably happened to him. He just got probably a little too overconfident, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah, in all likelihood. So yeah, that certainly can kind of factor in and mess you up there. But yeah, we'll
Yeah.
see. Another opportunity right there on the big stage. So good stuff there, Boz. A lot of good action there coming up here for this weekend. Not as much this past weekend, but some good stuff. But yeah, this weekend is going to be jam packed as far as action is concerned. So
Yeah.
if we get the opportunity, we'll try and talk about it. I do have a boxing show here locally on Sunday, Boz. I know you're going to be traveling, so we'll see if we come back here on Sunday. We may miss that and did have to talk about it at a different time, but we will be back in the mix, folks. No question
Yeah.
about it.
If
So
not
it's an
next
hour
Sunday.
down.
Yeah, no, hour 3 minutes now.
All right, you know what that means, folks. We're gonna get out of here. Good, nice one. We thank everyone who actually dropped by. Salute to all who dropped in. Remy, much love there for the super chats. Bruce Gas, Rodolfo Rivera Jr., Champ Ross. Check out that fantasy boxing prediction league as mentioned. We got Max Duran in here. We have Edis Fernandez in the building, baby. So we appreciate everyone who dropped by. Those even I may have missed. I think I got everybody though. So yeah, we salute you all, and certainly we'll catch you here on the flip side. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Yep. See you.